You said that there is inflation and also there is corruption and all those things. But let me tell you, the inflation and hardship is just for a short time.
I hear my opponent saying that inflation is going for a short period of time. But the death rate in our country, Nigeria, is it for a short period of time? No. People are dying here and there because of starvation. Removal of fuel subsidy have caused poverty. Poor people are unable to provide for themselves anymore.
Here this morning, we have teachers that actually came with the students for these debate competitions. We have 2 teachers from Olofa Grammar School and 2 teachers also from Edu Grammar School here. So the teachers that came with the Olofa students are Mr. Adeyemi M.O. and also Mrs. Akimboyo C.O. Teachers that came with the students from Edu High School here, we have Mrs. Adeleke and my very self, Mrs. Olatunji. So the topic again that we're going to be debating on is removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria, a step in the right or wrong direction. Now we're going to be calling on the speakers for the 2 schools to come and occupy their seats as they give us their presentations. We have from Olofa Grammar School, Olagunju Samuel. You're welcome. Then we have Adebisi Blessing. Students representing Edu High School, we have Anthony Tobiloba and Bello Olaide. Please, if you are clapping, make sure you clap very well. That is how it should be. And then before we, have them here, I want to tell you the rule of the game, of the debate. And it is the fact that the first speaker, as you have the floor here, you have to spend the maximum time of 5 minutes in the front to speak on your point. And after that, when the first speaker of the other school will have come to speak, then the second speaker will be coming to spend 3 minutes. Are you getting me? Make sure you do not exceed your time. Make sure you are able to speak very audible enough so that the members of the audience can be able to hear you well. I want to believe you can hear me very well. So, as we start with the competition, we'll be having Olagunju Samuel here to come and tell us, supporting the motion, removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria, a step in the right or wrong direction.
Good day, honorable chairman, esteemed judges, my worthy opponents, and my fellow debaters. My name is Olagunju Samuel, a student from Olofa Grammar School. I'm so honored to be in front of you today to present the case in support of the motion, which says the removal of fuel subsidy is a step in the right direction. What is fuel subsidy? Fuel subsidy can be defined as a form of government intervention which involves the payment of a portion of cost of fuel by the government to reduce its burden on the citizen. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that fuel subsidy has been a long-standing argument on our nation's economic landscape, and today we all come here to debate on the merit and pitfall. I firmly believe that the removal of fuel subsidy is a right step toward the growth of our economic growth, transparency and sustainability. Firstly, fuel subsidy has a big significant burden on our national budget. According to the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), in 2020, Nigeria spent over 1.4 trillion of naira on fuel subsidy only, and this amount can be better to allocate to other critical sectors such as education, healthcare, infrastructure, agricultural development. And this leads to inefficient resources allocation. And we all see that after our president, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have already removed this fuel subsidy. He have increased the resources allocation for each state. This is the reason why our governor, His Excellency Governor Isaka Adeleke, have put it in budget that is going to do over 5 head bridges, and this is going to consume a lot of billions of naira. And this fuel subsidy perpetuates the inequalities and fail to address the most vulnerable members of our society. According to a study of International Monetary Fund, they revealed that 70% of this fuel subsidy benefit the richest of 20% of the population, while only 5% benefit the 20% of the poorest of the population. And you, my opponent, might say that the removal of fuel subsidy increased burden on the poor. I disagree, because the current fuel subsidy benefit the wealthy more than poor, that perpetuate the inequalities, and this against the human rights. And also, the removal of fuel subsidy is in line with global best practice, including India, Mexico, and Indonesia. They have successfully removed this fuel subsidy, and this leads to their economic growth, transparency. And this fuel subsidy encourage smuggling and corruption. Due to the price differential between Nigeria and neighboring countries, they have created incentive for smuggling, leading to revenue losses and also perpetuating corruption. And you, my opponent, might say that there is also mismanagement and corruption in removal of fuel subsidy. Let me tell you, the mismanagement and corruption are issues, but the only right way to reduce these opportunities for illicit activities, that is to reduce opportunity for corruption, is removal of fuel subsidy. And this fuel subsidy, in the removal of this fuel subsidy, increase in our investment and efficiency in the downstream sectors, and encourage our private investors to build up new refinery and upgrade the existing one, such as we have the Port Harcourt and Kaduna refinery. And also, this will improve our refinery capacity and reduce our reliance on imported fuel. You, my opponent, might say that there is not alternative solution in removal of fuel subsidy. I disagree. Let me present some alternative solution, such as we have the cash transfer, subsidy on bus transportation, and we also have targeted social welfare programs, etc. The subsidy on transportation, e.g., we have the CNG provided by the federal government of Nigeria and tricycles. And also, this first subsidy, you, my opponent, I even say that there is insufficient infrastructure, but let's think about the potential for the private sector's investment and growth that will later bring high degree of job opportunity for us. And in conclusion, I think it's best for us to support this motion that the removal of fuel subsidy is a step in the right direction that will help us to combat corruption, improve our economic transparency, our healthcare, education, and etc. So I urge you all to support this video. Once again, my name is Olagun Samuel. Thank you.
All right, he has really done well to give us his point on the topic, and I want to believe what he had said are well heard by you. And the first speaker from Edu High School will be coming here in person of Tobiloba Anthony to give us a point debating on the topic.
Good day, Mr. Chama, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my fellow students. My name is Anthony Oluwatobiloba Tanimola, a student of Edu High School. I'm here this morning to oppose the motion which says removal of fuel subsidy is the right direction to take in Nigeria. First and foremost, what's the meaning of removal? Removal is the act of abanishing something unwanted. What's the meaning of fuel? Fuel are materials such as oil, gas, coal, which are burned to produce it or energy. What's the meaning of subsidy? Subsidy is a sum of money granted by the state or public bodies to help an industry or business keep the price of commodity or service low. Removal of fuel subsidy was removed on the 23rd of May 2023. My point go thus. Removal of fuel subsidy often leads to an immediate increase in fuel prices, which can trigger a chain reaction, leading to higher cost transportation, causing ultimately contribution to inflation. Furthermore, shortage of supply. Though this is one of the advantages of subsidy, a greater supply of goods, a shortage of supply can occur. Removal of fuel subsidy has affected the students, teachers, job performances in our country, Nigeria. Removal of fuel subsidy have affected all those people in our country because of the removal of fuel subsidy. Negative implications are that subsidy removal in Nigeria has reduces the growth of economic in our country. Furthermore, subsidy removal without spending the associated saving, it increased the rates of poverty in our country, Nigeria. Removal of fuel subsidy have caused so many damages in our country. Rise in poverty. When we talk about poverty, poverty is the act by which someone or somebody is unable to provide for his or herself. Removal of fuel subsidy challenges people, financial stability, making it harder to build, invest, and build wealth in the informal sector. Negative implication are that removal of fuel subsidy decrease the growth of economic in the short term. Removal of fuel subsidy have affected the country. Removal of fuel subsidy have increased inflation, increased fuel smuggling, increased crime and poverty in our country, Nigeria. Removal of fuel subsidy have led to disaster in our country, Nigeria. Removal of fuel subsidy have making our country, Nigeria, to be unstable to live in. People are going here and just other country to stay so that they can be able to sustain themselves. Removal of fuel subsidy have making our country, Nigeria, unstable to live in. People are going outside the country to sustain themselves so that they can be able to live for food. Removal of fuel subsidy have making our country, Nigeria, unstable. This migration out of their own country. Removal of fuel subsidy have increased corruption and development investment. Removal of fuel subsidy reduces the moral of workers to work. Removal of fuel subsidy have made all the poor people enough to be able to provide for themselves. Removal of fuel subsidy increase inflation. Removal of fuel subsidy increase poverty. Removal of fuel subsidy increase poverty. Removal of fuel subsidy increase inflation and poverty. With this point of mind, I think I'm able to convince you not to brainwash you that removal of fuel subsidy is the wrong step to take in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, we've heard her well. She has given us convincing points to back up her stand that removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria is a wrong step to take, is a wrong direction to go. And once again, we'll be having the first school that spoke here, Olofa Grammar School. The second speaker will be coming here in person of Adebisi Blessing, just to back up what you are spending 3 minutes.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Adebisi Blessing and I'm from Olofa Grammar School. It's my pleasure to stand here before you this morning to add more to what my chief speaker has said. Removal of fuel subsidy saved Nigeria from going bankrupt. For example, in the year 2023, the total revenue generated was 10.49 trillion naira and the total expenditure was 21.83 trillion naira, which means during the year 2023, Nigeria was in budget deficit. And by removing subsidy, we can focus the money on other sectors like agriculture, just like what my partner has said. Agriculture, which is one of the most important sectors in the country. Though she said earlier, she said removal of fuel subsidy increase inflation of embezzlement of fund. I disagree, because The removal of fuel subsidy, though it brings hardship on people, but it's only for a period of time. When the money that is being saved by the removal of fuel subsidy, we can focus it and we'll be able to use it to make something more tangible for our country, and our economy will continue to grow rapidly. First, let me make my point clear. Fuel subsidy, while we were still paying fuel subsidy, the corruption in the country is so rampant, it's too much. Fuel subsidy has brought corruption. How? Our importer, our middlemen has increased the money that our importer. The subsidy system has prone abuse and fraudulent acts because our middlemen has had or exaggerate money on the fuel that has been subsidized. Can you just imagine removing subsidy from Nigeria and neighboring countries like Ghana are protesting? It doesn't make any sense. So by removing fuel subsidy, we can eradicate the illegal smuggling of fuel in Nigeria. Thank you all for listening.
Now we'll be having the last speaker, the second speaker for Edu High School. She will be coming here to build on what the first speaker had just come here to present. So we'll be having Bello Olaide here.
How protocol did you observe? To collaborate with what my first speaker just said, my name is Bello Olaide, a student of Edu High School. I am here to oppose the motion which states removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria is the right step to take. My point goes thus. First thing, ever since government's removal of fuel subsidy has been removed, things has been difficult for all the citizens in the country. Many people has engaged in prostitution in order to meet the needs of their family. Parents cannot afford to send their kids to school because of what? Because of the removal of fuel subsidy. Because the amount of money paid for school fees is huge and money for buying textbooks are expensive. In Nigeria now, people are struggling to put food on the table due to what? Due to the removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria. My fellow students, even though as we are talking, hardly can we gather 20 families out of the masses that can boast of having 3 cycle meals per day. Even though they did, the balanced diet is failed. Furthermore, massive migration out of the country. People are willing to travel out of the country just because of what? Just because of the removal of fuel subsidy. To overcome the hardship, hunger, and other adverse effects of removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria. Nevertheless, inflation of prices and other things has drastically reduced the profits of businessmen and women and reduction in their sales. Lastly, about 3 weeks ago, the Labour Congress have a strike on how to have a better financial financial substance. Eventually, government is yet to provide good, better, and a very good financial substance for them until now in Nigeria. So, with this precious point of mine, I believe I'll be able to convince you in order to correct that the removal of fuel subsidy is the wrong step to take.
clap very well, everybody. All right, that is okay. That's okay. Now, the speakers have come here to tell us all that they are prepared, speaking on the topic, either against or in support of the motion. And then now, we'll be having the first speakers for the two schools. They'll be coming here to counter themselves on the topic. What they have prepared and what they have debated on. They'll be coming here to make a kind of an emphasis, are you getting me, on what they have told us so far on the topic. Either saying that it is a very good step for the government to have removed the fuel subsidy, or a bad one. So they'll be coming here for the last time to speak on the topic. 1 minute each speaker.
Standing on the existing protocol. Just not time ago, you said that there is inflation and there is inflation. Standing on the existing protocol, you said that there is inflation and also there is corruption and all those things. But let me tell you, the inflation and hardship is just for a short time. Other nations such as we have the India, Mexico, and Indonesia, they also remove the fuel subsidy, but later being long benefit for the nation. Even there is high job opportunity for them. And just in Nigeria now, although there is hardship, but it's just for a little time. You said that the corruption and its management. Corruption and its management in fuel subsidy is higher than when you remove the fuel subsidy. But the right way to reduce the opportunities for corruption, as I said earlier, is through the removal of fuel subsidy. And also, many you said that the removal of fuel subsidy increase burden on the citizen, that on the poor, that there is more high rate of poor. But let's think now about the current before they remove the fuel subsidy. It's benefit the wealthy people more than the poor. So the 70%, as I said like that, a study of the International Monetary Fund revealed that 70% of the benefit of the removal of the fuel subsidy benefit 20% of the richest, and 5% benefit the poorest. That should perpetuate the inequalities and fail to address the most vulnerable members of our society. With this fifth point of mine, I hope I am able to convince you, not to confuse you, that the removal of fuel subsidy is the right step to take. Thank you.
All right, so far so good. He has been able to, do justice to the topic, maintaining his stand that the removal of the fuel subsidy is a very good idea taken by the government. And lastly, we'll be having Anthony Oluwatobiloba here to speak on the topic.
All protocol duly observed. Overall, I hear my opponent saying that inflation is going for a short period of time. But the death rate in our country, Nigeria, is it for a short period of time? No. People are dying here and there because of starvation. Removal of fuel subsidy has caused poverty. Poor people are unable to provide for themselves anymore. Reduction of social activities, examples, Christmas, Eid Mubarak, New Year, people are not doing that anymore because there's no money. Cassava flakes as a poor man food has now begun as a rich man food. Cassava flakes, like we know that it's only poor people that always drink cassava flakes. But now, rich people are drinking cassava flakes. If you can afford to buy cassava flakes, even though 1 Congo, you are a rich person. But now, removal of fuel subsidy have bring about smuggling, crimes, pain in our country, Nigeria. Things are not going properly anymore. Removal of fuel subsidy increase inflation, corruption, crime, corruption and embezzlement, and it reduces the morale of workers to work. The removal of fuel subsidy increase the price of transportation and prices in petroleum because of the removal of fuel subsidy. My opponents also say immigration out of their own country. People are unable to go outside again because there is no money. Even though people are moving outside to another country, examples Libya, America, to search for job so that they won't die of hunger because of the removal of fuel subsidy. People are dying day by day. Why? Because of the removal of fuel subsidy. The removal of fuel subsidy have caused so many disadvantages, cries, pain in our country, Nigeria, because of the removal of fuel subsidy. I think with this precious point of mine, I think I'm able to brain feed you, but not to brainwash you, that removal of fuel subsidy is the right step to take. Let's clap them very well.
All right, that is okay. The speakers had really done a great job coming here to present us, their words on the topic. The removal of subsidy in Nigeria is a right or wrong decision taken by the government. So after the whole talk, we'll be having our judges here to tell us, to brief us on, based on the observation of the speakers, they be coming here to tell us how well they have done in their presentation and also the result of the whole thing.
Can we have decorum, please? Please, can we appreciate them once again? I think this is indeed a commendable performance. I'm proud of you all. I see you getting to places. I believe I've seen some of these faces in some competitions around Osogbo before. You are doing well. You're representing your school very well. Keep it up. Well, I want to bring to your notice some basic details about let me say a debate like this. For those of you here and those of you who want to emulate some of these people to represent your school in a debate competition. Now the world has gone beyond the normal way of introducing a debate. Can we do something different from this conventional way of introducing good day Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, appropriate timekeeper and the rest? Can we do something different? I believe some of you've gone to several debates and you've seen how students from other schools actually introduced their arguments. It is very fantastic and beautiful. So the reason for your exposure is for you to learn and add to what you know before. So quickly I want to bring to your notice that there is everything wrong with you introducing your thesis statements. That is your point of argument. As for instance, my name is Olaonikende Emmanuel and I'm here to speak on the motion that states, which I think both sides were actually defaulted on this. There is nothing like, no motion states or says. I'm here to defend the motion that states or that says no. So I'm here to speak in favor, or I'm here to speak against the motion fuel subsidy removal, not the motion that states or says, but to speak against the motion fuel subsidy removal, a step in the right or wrong direction. Do we understand? Then I saw some of us misusing plural tantrums. That is, there are nouns that, whether in their singular or plural forms, they maintain their words, their structure, their spellings. You don't add S to them. I heard somebody saying chairmans. I've heard somebody saying poverties instead of poverty. So we need to, I know it is not easy. Some of you were rushing because you're time conscious, and in doing that, we are actually bound to make mistakes. But then, finally, it's not about the number of points you present here today, but how you're able to convince everyone seated here that, okay, using illustrations, facts and figures, that your point of argument is actually what should be considered and not that of your opponent. Now, the moment you leave your opponent's points without countering the points, then you are making a very big mistake. Olofa Grammar School, I think, That's those on the affirmative team, right? I think, yeah, Olofa Grammar School. Right from their first, second, and third presentation, I think they tried to give some rebuttals. Most times, you don't wait for the final round to rebut arguments. You can start even from your introduction. That might even be your introduction to your argument. I hope you're following. So you start rebuttals. That I didn't see from Edu High School, not until the final speech where you have some rebuttals. But that notwithstanding, we have 5 basic, should I say, contents, or let me say, data used to judge this debate. Your points, not just the point, how convincing they are, your appearance. You are all looking good in your appearances, so you all scored at least maximum score for appearance. Then confidence. Most of you were lacking that, not until some of you started building your confidence. You don't need to be scared of anyone, not the judges, not your colleagues. You understand? Because if anything should dampen your confidence, it will affect even your presentations and your points. So all you need to do, I would like to speak to the 4 of you. Please make sure you increase your level of what? Confidence in a kind of a social gathering like this. Then your expressions. We had some kind of grammatical blunders here and there. I can't point them out. You understand? But I believe we are growing. We are getting there. So kudos to you and your rebuttals. Now, as the adjudicator of this debate, with my colleague here from another school, the debate will be judged based on my own criteria. I believe you understand what I'm saying. So it will be fair on the 2 schools. Now, what I have here with me, the first, that is the affirmative team, Olofa Grammar School. They did well. Please, can we clap for them? Both the chief speaker and the second speaker. The chief speaker, from what I have here, accumulated 39 points altogether. Can we clap for him, please? That is Olagunju Samuel. While Adebisi Blessing had 25 points. Can we clap for her, please? Let's appreciate them. It is not easy. For the counter arguments, the rebuttals, the Olofa Grammar School scored 4 points. In total, 68 points. In total, 68 points. While the negative team, those against the motion, that is Edu, the chief speaker had 43 points, and that is Anthony Oluwatobi. Then Bello Olaide scored 24 points. For their counter argument also, from my end, they scored 4/5. So everything totaling 71 points. So with this, I want to, based on some reasons and criteria, Olofa Grammar School established more points. However, we have issues of giving us convincing data of present day situation, but the only difference from the argument is even 3 points. The point is, at a point I was like, what's going on? Because it was not until they presented some kind of counter arguments and some kind of illustrations and the rest. So with this, I want to say, as the educator of this debate, that Edu High School with 71 points, I hereby declare the winner. Hello. But please, According to the ethics of Edu TV Nigeria, we do not have a loser and we don't have a winner. And that is why we have a gift for both schools that presented today. So thank you very much. With this, I would like to call our director to wrap it up with a closing remark. Thank you.